Order number 12, motion number 28 of 2023, establishment of a science museum.
Honorable John Kiarie.
Madam Speaker, I really thank you. And I want to move this motion that aware that Article 11.2b of the Constitution provides that the government shall recognize the role of science and indigenous technologies in the development of the nation, and further aware that the Vision 2030 provides for the integration of information, communication, and technology in the country's transformative agenda, and concerned that there exists no science museum for the consolidation, that there exists no science museum for consolidating indigenous scientific and technological innovations, training and research purposes in all of the East African region, and appreciating that the integration of science and technology would greatly enhance Kenya's economic and societal success, and noting that there is potential growth in the technology sector by establishing a science museum, and further noting that the informal science education plays a key role in progression of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, acknowledging that science museum operate as the nexus between science practitioners, policymakers, and the public, and cognizant of the fact that a science museum in the country would greatly impact on the economy of the country in the quest to become an industrialized nation. Now, therefore, this House resolves that the national government, through the relevant ministries, establishes and operationalizes a science museum in the country. I was making a reference to the fact that if one does not tell their story the way they want to tell their story might be told by somebody else in a way that you do not want to tell the story. Madam Speaker, I am moving a motion where I would want this parliament to support me so that we can establish a science museum that will create a nexus between scientists, scientific practitioners, policymakers, students, and the publics, different publics, so that we are able to preserve our technological advancements in a museum that is a living museum. Madam Speaker, it might be a point of argument that we already have museums, Madam Speaker. But the kind of museum I'm talking about is not a museum of natural history. A museum of natural history, as they exist today, is a museum that I would refer to as a dead museum. And with all respect, Madam Speaker, dead in the fact that in these museums, we go to see exhibitions of taxidermies or stuffed animals that are already dead. We go to see things of the past. A science museum is normally a museum that exhibits, is a living museum. It is able to cover the history of technological advancements from the past, taking into cognizant what is happening in the present, and also trying to imagine a future as we would want to imagine it, Madam Speaker.